we've got a Spyro Reignited Trilogy block coming up, starting off with Spyro 1 Neo Vortex, run by Groxu. So, real excited to see this. Take it away, Groxu. Good luck.
Thank you. Welcome everyone. So today, or at least now, we're going to have a marathon with a marathon with a marathon, because obviously we have a Spyrothon over here, but we're going to have a mini marathon of Reignited Trilogy here, and also mini marathon of me. Unfortunate, but yeah, I hope you enjoy what I do over here. You're going to see me run Neo Vortex now. Then we have I'm going to commentate with Randy for Dr. House, and then I'm going to do AB Dragons. So I hope you actually enjoy this stuff. And very quickly before we start, I think I should kind of explain what Neo Vortex is, because it's a new category and people really haven't like seen how this category looks like. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start from a 120% file, and that's basically what Neo Vortex is. We're not going to start from a new file, mostly because we would have to do Peacekeepers out of bounds a couple of times. And we don't like that. We just want to have a simple chill time over here. So yeah, I'm going to count down, and we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, we're starting in Artisans, and then we will see how it goes. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're going to start over here. We're going to have a slightly different route. We're going to because we are not allowed to actually like use our guidebook. We're just going to quit game continue, because it's the faster way to actually, you know, find ourselves back at the start of Peacekeepers, at the start of Artisans. So we're going to do Town Square first, and then we're going to quit game and continue after that, and we're going to do every other level after that, right? So for Town Square, it's actually a quite cool phenomenon. If you've seen like NBS runs or something like that, you probably know that there is a Nils proxy, like fairy proxy, on the Nils polygon over here. But we're going to not stand on this. We're going to try and get ourselves launched. So let me try to do that. And we're very close to the Vortex immediately, so that's the first proxy that we do, and probably the last one. Unfortunately, we have like dog proxies and stuff, but sadly, no one has ever done that, to be honest. Which is, yeah, I mean, that's just SRT for you, to be honest. Like, doing proxies in SRT is way more difficult. But yeah, now we're going to do Stonehill, and that is a fun fact. Stonehill takes about 17 seconds to get to the Vortex, and the load screen for Stonehill is 34 seconds, which means that loading screen takes twice as much as the level itself. SRT moment for you, ladies and gentlemen. Very cool. That's a you know, that's just how it is here in SRT1. Very simple level, nothing too special over here. Unfortunately, we're not going to do like many. We don't have many like movement tags over here. So we're going to, most of the run is not going to be as flashy as for example OG Vortex, but we're going to do, you know, whatever we can to actually traverse the levels as fast as possible. We're going to go straight to Toasty because we can, since this is a 120 file, right? So we can just simply go into Toasty because we went through a Vortex anyway to complete like get into Toasty. And yeah, a very simple thing. We're not going to actually fight most of the boss over here. We're just going to go around the edges over here and dodge all the dogs while we just simply flame the toasty. Oh god, that's very sad. Kinda missed him, but yeah, that's okay. And we're going into Vortex now, and we're going to quit game continue again to find ourselves at the start of Artisans because it's just simply quicker, right? So there you go. We're going to find ourselves at the start of Artisans, and now we're going into Dark Hollow, which isn't also a like this isn't a very difficult and like movement tech heavy level anyway. So Artisans pretty simple right now. The only fun thing about Artisans was Town Square, and that proxy, right? If we could do a toasty duck proxy kind of consistent, it would be probably a little bit more enjoyable. But yeah, so far this doesn't seem like we will be able to do that. And our route is very similar to the OG route, because after Artisans we're just going to do Peacemakers. So that's very cool. And we're going to do EBLs here. So for those who don't know what EBLs are, it's basically we're kind of manipulating the timer because we're using loadless timer. So when we boosted jump over here and very quickly menu, we will be able to stop the timer a little bit sooner, which means we're not just losing time for nothing basically. And people are actually like surprised seeing that. Because for like NBS or 120 even, doing that isn't really difficult. It's just like 2 inputs. But for this one, you have to do like 4 inputs or something like that. So it's a little bit more. It's actually easier in my opinion, but you know, you just need to be quick with your mashing down button on D-pad, and yeah. So yeah, we have the similar tech over here. We just go around the electric fields. We just don't go through them, it's slower. So we have a similar tech as in OG. And yeah. And yeah. So we're going to enter Terrace Village. Not very... It isn't a flashy level anyway. We have some similarities compared to OG as well. For example, here, we also go on this little railing over here, which is quicker. So yeah, we have some similarities, although this isn't a very, like, demanding level. Also, we just jump over this gap over here. We can actually skip the one step and just go on the second one immediately. And yeah, after that we just follow the normal path to the Vortex, because we have no other... Oh, for a second I wanted to go right, as we do in 120, which is a little brain moment. But yeah. So, now, it's time for Misty Bug, and this is the first trick that we're going to do. Is we're going to try and pause on the exact frame we hit the hitbox for the portal, and by quitting and continuing, we actually save some loadless and RTA time. So go up, because for loadless timer, it's actually there is a very high, like Spyro flies very high up. And the loadless timer actually starts when we can't even move, so it's just better to quit game continue. I mean, to quit, to quit game continue if we hit the portal, because if we hit the frame, if we hit the portal on the exact frame, if we hit the pause there, it's just going to, you know, tell us that we're in this level, so we can just quit game continue, and that saves us not only loadless but also RTA. RTA time. So yeah. For Treetops, since we have this is going to be SRT physics moment, because we're going to dodge this guy, and we're going to try and jump the entire gap over here, find ourselves over here, and we're going to do wall glide on this little pole over here. So this jump is actually impossible if you don't have 30 minutes and 30 FPS, if you're not playing on 30 FPS and 90 minutes. So 30 FPS is kind of required because it just, well, it's not required. It just makes things easier because it extends your jump. Like FPS basically impacts the physics of the game, and we jump higher the lower the FPS basically. For 90 minutes, something weird happens after like 75 to 90 minutes in the game. So if we are in the game for that long, we just simply jump higher. Something changes in the physics as well. So yeah. Now I'm going to attempt something very similar to what OG has. So I'm going to try and do the metalhead wall glide over here. We can basically do very similar stuff as in OG. So as you can see, there are a couple, and we did it. We did it first try. So basically, there are a couple of like on those pillars on the wall. There are like they have some hitboxes, and if we time it perfectly, we can actually like flop over the wall and stand in out of bounds. We can just stand on those pillars basically. It's very difficult because you can't really control your auto hovers. You have to kind of feel it out, and also you have to like dip back into the wall so you can actually hit that invisible like part of solid scenery. So yeah, it's not that easy as it looks, but yeah. I'm happy we got the first try, because currently I am actually ahead of my record. So wow, okay I guess. Now we're going into haunted towers. We don't have any like proxies or skips, so we will just have to go and use the fairy breath basically to break down the walls, and then from that we're just going to use our supercharge ramp in order to traverse to the vortex as quick as possible. We're going to use a little fact about SRT over here, which is KBM. So basically, what KBM does is it allows you to turn during a supercharge a little bit faster, sharper. So this is what we're going to do over here on this supercharge ramp in order to actually go, you know, behind ourselves. So we're going to charge like that. I'm using my keyboard and mouse right now, and yeah, there you go. That's how we traverse to the nearest vortex. Well, nearest to the only vortex, basically. From here, we're going to use the very known and typical trick as well, which is Quit Game Continue. Momentum is easier, yes. During a supercharge, we jump higher than in OG, so it's way easier. That is true. Now we're going to go and do Dark Passage. It's not a very difficult level. The only thing that we joke about is that you can embrace the true vortex by getting vored over here, devoured by the huge dogs, the enchanted dogs. But if we know the cycles, we should be fine, to be honest. So we'll see. We're also going to use a little 30 FPS fact again, and we're just going to skip some sections of the map, and we're just going to jump over to the Vortex straight. We won't have to go all the way around. So yeah. From here, we're not dropping down or anything, we're just jumping over to this platform. We can do that since we have 30 FPS and 90 minutes, so yeah, very simple stuff. We didn't even have to auto-hover, like rely on an auto-hover. And the same thing is going to happen over here. So we're going to do a little gamer jump, which lets us like skip the having to wait for the whirlwind, which is like 2 seconds or 3 seconds faster. It's actually impossible without 90 minutes, I think. So it's good that we have it. Let's go. So for Lofty Castle, we don't have to kind of brainstorm stuff as in OG, because this is a 120 file, which means all the fairies are basically freed anyway. So we're just going to go the normal route. There you go. Jumping over this gap. And yeah, very simple level again. Not much is happening over here. We have all the fairies freed. We can just go straight to the Vortex, because this doesn't waste that much time. We used to do a supercharge strat, but it just isn't necessary. You have to kind of go more to the right of this Nork, because he actually will just, if you are too close to him, he will just hit you and throw you into the abyss, which is no good. Very no bueno. Sad. So yeah. So now we're going to Jax. Which is the last level here in Dreamweavers, yep. So there is a wall glide that we can do, which I believe just won't take us anywhere, but I'll try to do this, I guess. I don't know. We have some time because I hit the flying skip anyway, so yeah. Yeah, we have no Tuco, that's true. So there is a little wall glide over here that I'm going to try to do. And I don't even know if you can actually reach the platform from here. Yeah, you can, okay. So there you go. This is how we can do that. We still have to kill Jax, which is very sad, but oh well. Actually, we don't have to. We just have to damage him once, then we just jump underneath the platform over here, because the whirlwind is still active underneath the platform, and then we can just use the SRT physics to jump over the gap anyway. So yeah. That's Dreamweavers done, and we're going to head to Magic Crafters. There you go, perfect. We also did an EBL over here. For some homeworks it's not as hard, because you just, for example, for Nork like Nasty's world, we're just going to do one input up. Which is, you know, like not much. For some it's a little bit harder. For example, for Beast Makers it's 4 inputs, so yeah. Alright. So we're here in Magic Crafters, we're just going to dodge this guy. For some reason he just doesn't hit us. And yeah, we're going to Alpine Ridge. We're going to do the same over here if we can. Yep, we can. It's actually better to do that because the cycles are better if you quit game continue over here. So like, if you fail this if you fail the flying skip here, it loses more than it should because the cycles are different basically. So yeah, we're going to jump, do the OG jump anyway. And yeah, the rest of the level is very simple. We're just going to cut some corners over here to get to the vortex faster. Like that. And there you go. That's Alpine Ridge done. And we're going to do a flying skip on high caves as well. So, or at least attempt, because it's not always that easy as it seems. So yeah. Nope, we didn't get it. So we're going to have to wait through the loading screen and also through the animation of flying down. But that's fine. That is completely fine. High caves is also a very simple level. We're just going to go through the spider cave and use the supercharge in order to actually get to the vortex, which isn't like anything flashy. Also, the spider cycles are slightly different depending on whether we fly and skip here or not. So, in my opinion, it's actually the cycles are actually better if we don't fly and skip. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to dodge the spiders over here, and it's all Gucci. The spider can actually sometimes bite us, but he was a little bit too slow for that, so I'm happy. And yeah, we're going to go into the vortex. Very simple. Now I'm going to use the KBM for this part and for the next level entirely, because it isn't that difficult. So we're just going to go with a supercharge straight into Wizard Peak. And we're going to attempt traversing the entire Lucas Hill with a supercharge, which is kind of simple. I don't know how difficult it is in OG, but it is kind of simple. I'm just going to find some enemies on the way. Some of the enemies didn't even spawn, so it's better for us. Like that. And let's see if we can make the entire Lucas Hill. Oh, we got kinda slowed, but that's fine. Yeah, very good. So there you go. We got kinda slowed there, but we didn't lose the supercharge entirely, so that's fine. That is fine. It loses a little bit, but it's better than just bonking or something like that, right? So we're dropping down over here and going straight into Blowhard. So for Blowhard, it kind of all depends on the cycle. I hope I'll be able to get the fastest cycle over here, which all depends whether the first guy, the first little wizard, will hit you or not. So yeah, we'll see. Because you can actually charge and catch the fastest cycle while doing that. Let's see. Okay, he didn't hit us, so that's good. That means we're going to catch the cycle probably. We need to hit Blowhard because we don't have Okay, very cool. And now yeah, we are leaving Blowhard because we just want to get to Vortex, right? We don't have any proxies, so we had to hit Blowhard the first time, but yeah. That's fine. And now we're going into Tuco, and that means we're going into Peacekeepers. So for Peacekeepers, also not much is happening, unfortunately. We don't have any proxies, we don't have anything like different, anything bad. And Tuco, yeah, Tuco is helpful for once. Tuco first try, exactly. Yeah, since this is a 120 file, we just don't have the RNG mechanic, right? And it's better. It's just better. Unfortunately, we're not going to Dry Canyon on Clifftown. Just straight into those levels where we have to kind of traverse this distance. But it isn't that bad, to be honest. It isn't that bad. It's about 15 seconds according to my loadless timer. So yeah, because we're using Lotus, as I mentioned. So for Dry Canyon, unfortunately, we don't have any like proxies or anything like that, so we can't do anything. We just have to go the normal route. We're going to cut as many corners as possible, though. We're going to jump over this pond. I also hovered there, unfortunate. Oh well. I'm going to jump, kill this bird, because he can sometimes like throw you in some different stupid directions, so yeah. We just don't want him to disrupt our lines, basically. And now we're going to do the same in Clifftown. Let's see if we can. Nope, I missed it. Sadly. Sadly. But yeah, you can. Now I have time to kind of like tell you about that. So basically, after the loading screen, you can see that Spyro does this extended glide upwards and downwards. And unfortunately, Loadless actually like activates midway through his glide, which means we can't really do anything in that time, and we're just losing valuable time. So yeah, this is why we do quick game continue on the portal frame. We're going to dodge all the manas. It's actually the fastest to do that. And yeah, we're going to cut as many corners as possible as well. And let's do magic stairs here. It's not that flashy or difficult here in Spyro 1 Reignited, but yeah, still something. Still something. So now it's Champ. We have a couple of things for Champ. I'm not going to show you them because they're difficult, very difficult. And I'm boring, apparently, so I just don't want to do that. We have a couple of wall glides. We don't have proxies, as I said, so we just have to rely on wall glides, if anything. So I'm just going to do the normal way. I'm just going to go the normal way, and yeah. We will have like we will fight Champ for a couple of those first phases, but basically we're not going to kill him entirely. We're just going to, yeah, this is an eclipse, yes. We're just going to jump over the gap over here because we can. Hell yeah, look at those cheeks, baby. So yeah, that was Champ, our beloved one. We just torched him a couple of times and then we just left him alone. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, there's no hitbox. Very cool. Now, for Ice Cavern, we don't have a fancy wall glide as an OG. We're just going to do the semi-normal way, right? So we're just going to jump to the large platform on our right. And we're just going to drop down. We're going to dodge the first guy, it's faster, so yeah. And we're nearing the end. Because now we have only Nasty's world to traverse. So I'm going to... Very cool. And here we are. Now it's time for North Cove. I'm still ahead apparently of my splits. So yeah, we're going to go into North Cove. We have, I believe, like around 28 minutes, which should be achievable, should be in my estimate. This run does include the loot, yes. Unfortunately, the rule, well, it depends whether unfortunately or not. The rules are slightly different for Neo Vortex in comparison to normal Vortex. For Neo Vortex, we don't even visit Nasty because he just doesn't have any Vortex. So we're going straight into the loot, and that's everything. We do that for normal Vortex, but normal Vortex isn't even like run that often, to be honest, because we need to do Allovant Peacekeepers, which you will see during my 80 Dragons run, by the way. So stay tuned for that. So we can stand on whatever that was. Oh, we can do a wall guide over here. And that's the end of the level, basically. Yeah, Nasty is forever lonely. Very sad. Can't do much about that. Okay. That's SRT edges for you, by the way. That is kind of a bonk moment. Hell yeah. So, for Twilight Harbor, we're going to do another wall glide. Let's go! Wall glide is the only thing we have here in SRT1. This is a semi-new route. It was discovered, like, I believe in, like, June or something. So we're going to do a wall glide on this castle. We're going to jump over to this building. It has no collision, so we just simply can jump over to the bridge from here. And yeah. That's basically the entire Twilight Harbor for us. Not as complicated as in OG. And yeah, we're just going to go into loot now. And the timing actually ends when we hit the last vortex, obviously here in loot, because that's every single vortex in the game that we hit. So yeah, that will be everything for this run. And you might think, oh, but it's still a long split or something. We're going to use a height cap break over here. So basically, we're going to angle our analog upwards so that we fly a little bit down, and then we just simply press down on the D-pad so we can fly up infinitely. And there you go. We broke the height cap, we got the loot, and we finished the run. Look at us. Thank you for the GGs, people. Obviously, we have one more little thing to cover. So we have one more thing to cover, which is obviously for this run and everything, every single other run for SRT, we're using a loadless timer. And I was actually using my life split on the side as in the previous run. So as you know or don't know, my run is a world record in this category. So let's see how this run compares to the world record, should we? So it was that. It was 2 seconds behind world record. So yeah, very good run so far.
Very good run.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, we kind of choked on that. I was still about 3 seconds ahead after Peacekeepers, but North Cove and Twilight Harbor kind of ruined it. But still, very cool. It was very fun. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to actually perform that well here on stage and show off the category and do it justice, because it's actually kind of cool. It doesn't have that many flashy moments as OG, but still, pretty cool.
Well, GG's, and thank you so much, and we will see you in after our next run here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do a commentary for my friend House alongside Randy, so stay tuned for that, people, and thank you.
All right, well, we are going to give House a little bit of time to set up here, and then we will be getting started with the rest of our sort of reignited block here. You guys can see on the schedule that we have 3 more reignited runs from the various games in the trilogy coming up. So we have Spyro 2 100%, and then we have Spyro 1 80 Dragons, and then we have Spyro 3 117. So we're going to get a pretty good block of reignited runs here. I think it's going to be a pretty good time. If I'm not mistaken, just a little fun fact if you guys don't know, I think Insert Logic recently got a world record in 117, so he's definitely put a lot of work into it lately. I was pretty sure I saw that within the last couple days or so.
So I will actually go into it and interrupt you for a second. Yeah, he got a record recently. He was practicing for Spyrothon actually, so yes, he got a record. It's a long category, so obviously not as many things as optimized over there, but yeah, it's very good. His movement and just his way of playing is very, very solid. So yeah, you will have a good time watching that for sure.
Awesome. All right, we will give House a little bit of time to set up, and then we will be back with his run.